y'all, welcome to Creative Stuff. I like to go through things that basically try and make costuming easier, electronics easier. Y'all are gonna love this one. And you're gonna kind of hate it because of where it's sold. Anyway, here's what it is. Yeah, it doesn't look very interesting from the get-go. It's a CallVi. It's a CallVi voice amp. Why is it special? Well, most of you probably have an idea what I'm thinking, and it's what's inside that's special. This box, it's just like a bunch of other ones. But whatever, look at how small the form factor is up here. Is it good on the inside? Foreshadow, I've already looked inside. It's pretty damn good. You're gonna love it. But buying it won't be easy. We'll get to that later. So this is the CallVi V-17. It's got the regular stuff inside. It's got the box, it's got your headset, it's got your who's it to what's it's. Pretty much all of these come the same. Your lanyard, your charging cable, and your headset. So it's basically just like anything else you'll buy, with the exception of what's inside. And here is the instruction manual, and it's all in Chinese. Oh yeah, except for the title and multimedia player V-17. Operation manual. Yeah. Well, anyway, we can tell that it really doesn't have any inputs. What it has is a mic input. There is no auxiliary input. There is no TF card input or micro SD card input. And there is no USB input. This is a 5-volt charge only. And then you've got your power. Your power and your volume control. And then it's got a little, whatever these things are called. Why can't I think of what these are called? It's got a little clip. It's got a speaker. That's it. There's no other inputs. So this board should be pretty small. Before we bust this thing open, let's try it out. Just so you have an idea. Ah, yes, that was exactly what I was thinking. I have no idea what she said. Anyway, so my volume isn't very far up. Okay. Now I'm at full volume, and yeah, it's good enough. I would not expect for more than this. Anyway, okay, now we're gonna open it up. Okay, let's do this. Get in there. Get in there. This actually has a serial number on it. Huh, I haven't seen that on a lot of things before. Oh, shucks. Okay. So, check that bad boy out. So we've got our traditional speaker, large, hard for embedding in a wearable, but, you know, whatever. This is awesome. This... Well, it's the persistent downer. I would swap out from this. I mean, you don't necessarily have to, depending on your use case, but... All right, let's see this board. Maybe I should zoom in or something. I don't know. Okay. Now, before I get carried away, where's my knife? Where's my knife? Got to cut this rubber glue stuff that basically holds these things in place, because you don't want to rip that connector off your board. Bloop. I imagine this is going to pull up. Okay, that was a theory. Maybe it's not. Seriously? Whatever. Okay, what if I just come down? Oh, of course that's not gonna work. Why would it be that easy? Ah, here we go. Oh, just looks like they might have had a little interesting glue. Or is that a tape? Oh, it's a tape or something. Okay, and that makes it reusable. Check it out. I love it. This is great. man, this is really low profile. And of course, you know, this is, it sticks out a little more than desirable, but if you really wanted to go through the labor, you could remote it. And you could also remote these, although you're still going to have to deal with, yeah, this is fine as is, but if you're looking for a wearable, this is wonderful. You could go micro size if you really wanted to go through the labor, and solder in here and solder in here rather than do a clip in, and then solder in here as well, and then do this and just remote this. You could totally do that. For me, I'm thinking I probably have enough space in most places I'd want to put this, but if you were looking for just a great wearable, man, this is going to do it. So what are the pluses? The pluses are it's super small, and you just plug in, it's plug and play. So you plug in your mic, you charge it, that's really all it needs, and then it's got a speaker out and it's got a power out, and it's got your on, off, and volume adjust. That's great, and I love it that there are no buttons. There are no clicky buttons. So it's all right here. It's a simple analog. Listen. Yep, old school. I love it. So basically they've got the power and the volume all in one, and it's not a bunch of clicky buttons. This is, I prefer analog style over those digital things because those are errant and they take up more space and blah, 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 blah. Anyway, outstanding wearable. So what it says on it is the V-17. 6969D version 1.3, whatever that is. V-17 is the model that I bought it under, and 2023-05, I guess, was the date of manufacture. This thing is great. So what don't you get? So like mentioned earlier, there's no micro SD or TF card, so you can't have tracks where you push a button and play them. Whatever, you can get that in a small form factor of something else, which I think I've made a video for it. I just haven't published it yet, and I'll have to just do that one right after this. Anyway, so there's no micro SD and there's no USB. So those would both be inputs, whatever. I'm not going to miss them in most contexts. Now, if it's a Vader or something like that, you could still do a Vader with this and have this other third-party thing that is basically a little player where you can play a bunch of different specific things rather than just one thing. Because the challenge with the micro SD card or USB is you go track by track. There isn't like you push a button and you get track this, push a button and you get track X, push a button get track Y. No, they're basically, they go in order. So I have a video that I'm going to do for you where you can push a button and get just what you want. And that's actually a better solution than an all-in-one that doesn't do an all-in-one well. So I'll probably end up I'll have a video on how I do that other thing, and then I'll end up doing a combination of this with the other thing, probably when I do an install on a Vader helmet or something like that. Anyway, wanted to share this. So what's the downside? So the downside, and it's not easily overcome. I bought this on TaoBao. Never heard of it? It's because it's only in Chinese, and I mean only in Chinese. Oddly, I bought it via my phone, which just makes it a whole headache more. But I use the TaoBao app, which is all in Chinese, so it will not translate to English. But if you go on through a PC or Mac or whatever, and you use your browser's built-in translation, that will help with a lot. The challenge is, what was not apparent when I bought my stuff, because I bought a whole bunch of stuff, was you go through, you get done, you go to checkout, and you'll look at the shipping price and you'll be like, man, that's really cheap. Yeah, it's cheap for a reason, because it's a Chinese site designed for Chinese customers, and even though you put in your address that says United States or wherever, it's still processing a payment as if you were a Chinese customer. So then after you do your purchase, tick tock, come back. When's the stuff showing up? Surprise, it's not processed. What you actually have to do, you have to go to a secondary shipping thing. So what you'll have to do, and this is all in Chinese, by the way, and I had to just figure this out trial and error. Then what you have to do is you have to send it to a shipping facility that will then ship internationally. And basically, you can buy multiple stuff, so you can check out multiple times, and it's still just sitting in TaoBao headquarters or something. And then you have to have it sent to a centralized shipping facility where they will pack it and crate it. And then this is all under this assumption that if you're an international purchaser, that you're probably a big purchaser, and that you're bringing it in because you're going to take up a pallet or something like that, and then you're going to combine all these shipments together, and you're going to have I don't know, a truckload. I wouldn't be surprised if, that's kind of the intent behind it, or an entire container so they can put it on a ship. But what you end up doing is, of course, like me, I bought a couple orders separately. Actually bought a few, and then when I realized it didn't ship, I'm like, why don't I try and add this one to it and see if I can add it to that shipment. And it worked. But it is not intuitive, I tell you. I'll do a video later on how I deal with TaoBao, but if you can come across the V-17, the CallVi V-17 somewhere else, that would be great. Otherwise, I guess just stay tuned or figure it out yourself. Good luck. Or wait for me to do my TaoBao video on how I navigated that stuff. I definitely won't do it on a phone again, and that was a lot of back and forth translation. Anyway, whatever. So, bam! If you're looking for small, man, you're not going to beat this. Let me show you my... I forget what it's called. Whatever. I'm going to grab them. Okay, so let's look at these side by side. If you've been with me for a while, you've likely seen this one. So this is where I did from scratch. I say that very loosely. These are, what are these called? Damn it, I always forget. Anyway, they're little circuit board things where you can piece them together. Whatever, it doesn't matter. So basically, this is an amp. This green board is the amp. This purple board is the preamp with a microphone. Now you can get the purple boards without the microphone built on, and then you have an additional jack and whatever. And then it has to have a resistor put on there because it goes crazy if you don't hook it up right. And it actually could theoretically, I guess, end up coming down smaller than this board if you wanted it to. But you still have to deal with the nonsense of it, and it's not a perfect solution because it still kind of screams a little earlier than you'd want it to. Whatever. This is small form factor if you wanted to build it yourself. This is my suggestion. Skip this nonsense. Whew, what a lot of headache, especially trying to figure out this resistor workaround. Woo! You don't want to deal with that. Huzzah! This will be my new go-to for any kind of wearables if you're not needing a built-in sound card. I do like having that built-in sound card, but there are ways around it. Man, there are so many applications for this. Now, if you need a voice changer, well, you still have that to deal with if you had a Moki. Totally recommend this. I look forward to seeing what some people can produce with this. I'm going to build something with this probably sometime soon, and I'll let you see the video. And for now, that about wraps it up. So, this ends the V-17. Feel free to look through this while I'm, just read up. This ends CallVi V-17 review and how it can benefit you if you're interested in using it in a wearable, be it costume or integrating into a motorcycle helmet or whatever. Hope it helped out. If it did, give it a thumbs up. Feel free to subscribe. Take care. Comment if you want, and feel free to comment about things that you want to see. I know sometimes people will, and I typically try and get to those. So anyway, yeah. Blah, 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 blah. That wraps it up. I'm out. If it helped you out, give it a thumbs up. Leave me your comments. Feel free to subscribe. Take care. I'm out.